But just in light of the conversation that we've just had, what role really, beyond just saying, OK, you can go ahead and allow this and people can create or have their own wallets and exchange, does the government need to play? Because, I spoke to the chief of the IMF and she was like, just because something's possible doesn't make it a good idea in terms of making Bitcoin legal tender. Does the government even need to do that, Jack? Give us your wisdom.
Listen, well, let me actually simply no. Another very powerful concept, Julia, is that the Bitcoin network, it's an open network. Julia, in the same way that Google could not do anything for the rest of the year and they'd be a better company come January 1st, 2022. How? Because everyone else around the world is making the internet better, and every new website that joins the internet makes Google a more valuable company. So if they wanted to, they could just sit on their hands and continue to appreciate in their value proposition because they're in an open network that is the internet. Bitcoin is the same thing. If the government of El Salvador doesn't want to do anything ever again, you know who's making Bitcoin better and their financial infrastructure better? Myself, Jack Dorsey, Twitter now all of a sudden, developers all over the world. So they don't have to, but they want to. Why do they want to? It's because they now have access. They don't have to ask permission from any central body, from any counterpart. They have access to a monetary network that acts in their best interest and a monetary asset that acts in their best interest. You're talking about an emerging market that gets absolutely crushed by the expansion of monetary supply at central banks. So if I'm a government and my job is to provide a high quality of life to my citizens, there's really no other project I should frankly be spending my time on. So do they have to? No. Should they? Arguably, I think so. I think their efforts in Bitcoin are brave, and I'm very supportive of what they're doing.
Yeah, it's an alternative when there's a lack of trust in institutions and when you have great volatility and depreciation in your currency anyway, which is why I think sort of certain nations are looking at this and other nations are far slower to react because they sort of have the luxury or the control of not having to worry so much. And there's going to be criticism of me saying that, I think, from certain quarters, because I know there's criticism of the US dollar and monetary policy.